Okay, hello everyone. I am here today to talk to you all about the fear of success. So, as you know, I help women to lose weight, women who are struggling with stubborn weight, with their hormones, with other underlying imbalances that can make it more tricky to lose weight. And a theme that I've been talking about this week is about how mindset is really 50%, at least half of your weight loss success. And a concept that you may have heard of before is the fear of success. And it might seem a bit of a strange concept. You want to be slim and healthy, confident. What's scary about that? Just imagine how amazing everything will be once you achieve these goals. But despite the anticipation of all this amazingness, you might feel massive resistance to change, and you might find yourself inadvertently sabotaging your own progress. So, to be clear, the fear of success, it's not that you think you're incapable of achieving. It's more the fear of change that might come with your success, or the cost of success. And this is something that I'm talking about in relation to weight loss, but really you can apply these principles to anything, any goal that you're trying to achieve. So subconsciously, you might have some mindset blocks that cause you to get in your own way. Mindset blocks, they cause resistance to change, and these mindset blocks usually stem from fear. And the thing about these mindset blocks being subconscious is that we're not usually aware of them, and it can take quite a lot of digging to uncover them. And until we know what your mindset blocks are, we can't really address them. And uncovering them and addressing them is key to stopping the self-sabotage and lifting that resistance that you feel when you try and achieve that thing, when you try to stick to a diet, when you try to make changes that are going to help you move towards your goals. So what does fear of success actually look like? There are some self-destructive behaviors that you might be experiencing, and they might come from the manifestation of fear of success. And they can be things like alcoholism, binge eating, being a workaholic, gambling, perfectionism, procrastination, quitting, and various other self-destructive behaviours. These behaviours, they might be serving a purpose. They might be there to prevent you from really committing to getting fitter and healthier due to your fear of success. So you need to be getting familiar with your weight story, these subconscious fears and how they manifest. So I'm going to walk you through some common sticking points. And remember that this isn't me telling you how you should feel. These are some common fears that stem from our own distorted view of the world. So one common thing is, when you lose weight, your identity will shift. And maybe you are, or maybe you think that your friends think you are, the biggest person in your group of friends. Are you the biggest one in your friendship group or your family? And what will that mean when you lose the weight? Who will become the big one? And how will that make them feel? Subconsciously, you may feel guilty about turning someone else into the big one. And I'm not saying that you should feel guilty about that, not at all, but this might be a subconscious fear, something that you don't even realize is, it might not even be on your radar, but subconsciously it might be that that's a fear that you have, how, things will change for you and the people around you if you were to succeed at your goals. Another fear is that, on a very similar theme, your friendships could change. I think, there can be a real culture in certain friendship circles. Perhaps, one of the reasons why you get on so well with certain friends is because you spend a lot of your time discussing the next trendy diet, or maybe you will revel in hearing about each other's confessions of blowing your diet or falling off the wagon. Now, how will things change if you become an ex-dieter? What if you succeed and you manage to eat really healthily, and you manage to do that consistently? It would be amazing. But will you still enjoy the company of those friends who are still doing the dieting? Will they still enjoy yours? Again, I'm not saying that you should change your social circle, but maybe you have a subconscious fear that things will change when you're in your friendship circle. Maybe you'll lose friends if you are successful with your weight loss. Another fear is around your own relationship. Could your partner become insecure? How will losing weight impact your partner? Consciously, you might feel that the impact would be really positive. You might feel more confident in the bedroom, and that can only be a good thing. But subconsciously, perhaps the fear is that your partner might become insecure. What if they become more self-conscious because you're fitter and healthier? What if they feel inadequate and resentful that you've bettered yourself and they haven't? And what if they feel that you could do better for yourself and they worry that you might leave? Again, I'm not saying that you should take on that baggage, if you like, but subconsciously you might have a fear that maybe you're feeling guilty for making your partner feel insecure. Another common fear is getting unwanted attention. What if when you lose weight and you reach your goals, you get fitter and healthier? What if you get more attention from that? Will your friends and family pay you compliments and admire, your glow and your slenderness? Will they rave about how dedicated you've been and how amazing you've done? And do you just hate being the center of attention and just squirm at the thought of drawing that type of attention to yourself? Subconsciously, perhaps you're terrified of becoming the center of attention once you succeed, and maybe that is limiting your success. And then the last one that's quite common is having a fear that you're not actually going to find the happiness that you're looking for. What if after you've lost all the weight, you're still not happy? What if this, pursuit of, the body that you want to have, the thing that you've spent so long chasing, what if it doesn't actually bring you happiness and the confidence that you've hoped for? Subconsciously, perhaps you fear that you're not going to find happiness. And on that note, it's really important for you to work on loving yourself and feeling happy in yourself now before you lose the weight. But that's really a conversation for another day. So I could go on and on about the various different fears of success that you might have, but ultimately it's the very drivers of our motivation. They can be overshadowed by the fear of the consequences of that success. So the first thing that you need to do is identify these fears. So think about where you want to get to and envision hitting your goals. Then maybe it's fitting into that dress, or wearing a bikini, or feeling confident without your clothes on. Maybe it's being able to reduce medication, or being able to keep up with the kids. Think about what it is that you want to achieve and look for that resistance. Do you feel guilty about making someone else look bad? Are you anxious about getting unwanted attention? Or do you feel the pressure of putting yourself on a pedestal and having to maintain that success? And it might help to think about, early successes that you've had previously, maybe even as far back as your childhood. What happened as a result of those successes? And when it comes to mindset work, the magic is always on the reflection. Reflect on these ideas as you make changes to your diet and your lifestyle to see if you can, if you can identify a pattern and see if you can identify how these fears might manifest. So get familiar with how you self-sabotage, get familiar with your fears and how they manifest. And then once you do that, you're going to be much better placed to implement strategies to push through that resistance. So hopefully this has been helpful and an interesting topic to go through. It might be a completely new thing for you. And if it is, then it might take a little bit of time to really start understanding what that might mean for you and whether this is something that is relevant to you. So thanks for joining me today. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.